You know, review family, sometimes there is a momentous occasion from a band that just hits you from left field, and every time you think that they can't go more above and beyond in anticipation for a record, for building up hype, they just hit you with the sucker punch, and you're just sitting there laying on the ground like, where did I go wrong? Hey, review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. This is just a little episode of track review that I wanted to do, discussing the new Erra single, Scorpion Hymn, off their self-titled record. This is the 4th single that they have dropped in anticipation for this record, which just gets closer and closer and closer. And if one thing is becoming abundantly clear for this album, it is the diversity in the musical palette. It still has the signature Erra flair, specifically from the JTKV era of Erra, whether you're talking about Neon or Drift. It definitely has that tone with the guitar playing and the similar structuring that Jesse Cash has done on their past 2 records. But if nothing else is true about Erra, it is their ability on this new record and with this re-signing to just turn up everything that they have been doing for the longest time to a whole new level. One major complaint that people had about Neon and Drift is JT's lack of dynamics with his vocal range and his vocal techniques with his growls and his screams in comparison to specifically Garrison Lee, because people were holding him to the same standard as Garrison. But if JT's proving something here on this track, it is that he can dominate the whole runtime, and he is just doing so much with his vocals that I love. His gutturals are something we haven't really heard much of for Erra, if at all. We occasionally will hear a lower end growl, but nothing like around like the 1 minute 47 mark specifically when he hits that low guttural growl. It's amazing, it sounds great, and combined with the production, which is sounding punchier and better and clearer than ever, as well as the different structuring with riffs, it really sets them apart from any other djent band right now. As a staunch advocate of djent, and with Erra being my favorite band personally, I don't hold that bias. If Erra makes a bad track or a lackluster album, which I have faulted them for in the past with certain tracks that I think are lesser than others, I will certainly call them out. But so far, the 4 singles that have dropped in anticipation of this self-titled album have been fireworks. I really think this is JT's album through and through, considering that he's done some clean vocals so far. He dominates this entire length. Jesse is nowhere to be seen. I really love that they're giving him more of a spotlight past just the sort of generic, rudimentary, one-dimensional, gruff vocalist sitting beside a clean vocalist. That only adds to the notion that Erra has always had, which is they're not like other djent bands. While Neon was amazing in its own right as an album, it was very similar to Drift in many forms, but based on what we're hearing from this record, this sounds like it's going to be a renaissance period, a refound era of Erra, where there's still their signature sound, but they're adding all of these little embellishments that I am loving hearing. The riff playing here is so unique, but it still has that punch, it still has that signature Erra sound that you've known and loved up until this point. And them giving JT even more of a chance to shine across this record is not a bad thing at all. This just goes to prove what people have already been curious about with this record: diversity. This is going to be a far-reaching record with a lot of different influences and a lot of different techniques and approaches to their sound that I can't wait to see what the whole track listing is going to be able to put forward, and I just really hope they don't spoil too much of the album by releasing too many singles. But obviously, you know how this works. I want to know your guys' thoughts of this track. I'm going to post the link to it in the description box below for you to go listen to it yourself and give me your thoughts of it. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, and I'm signing off saying fair play.